Welcome back to another episode of Saddle Saga.
The motorcycle podcast.
Shashi here.
Myself, Mithun Gowda.
So what's up, Mithun? What are we talking about today?
Yes, Shashi. Here's the 5th episode. We're back, and then we have a topic for today, which is safe riding practices.
Oh, nice.
Right. So we are always on the roads, like commute or long rides. We are on the road, as you always call it, the public roads.
Exactly.
Correct. So if we are taking this topic of safe practices, so let's say what are the practices you follow?
Okay,
What are the
so before we get into this, you have done few safety awareness campaigns, right?
Yes.
About road safety and how well you can ride on roads and maybe drive as well, right?
Correct.
So if you could tell them what you guys have done about it, and maybe before we dive deep into that topic, so
yeah. So yes, as you said, road safety. This is something I initiated with biking buddies.
Okay.
The club I ride with. So we came up with the concept. Basically, we used to do a lot of charity and other events as well with biking buddies. But then we thought, let's give something back to the society that's happening.
Correct.
But also, let's give something back to the motorcycling community.
Correct.
If let's say I try to educate 10 people around me who's on the same road, I'll also be safer. So this is one small thought behind it,
and it all starts with us, right?
Correct.
When
So exactly, I try to contain myself. I try to ride safely as possible, but there is some other guy who's doing another thing that might affect me, all that.
Correct.
So what we did was we started this series, road safety awareness campaigns. So we've done about 4 to 5 of them, and then the privilege we had was we have tied up with schools, colleges, hospitals. They've been a great support, and I'll tell you as a small example, what we did was we had the school children. We used to take them out on the roads, safely make them stand in a safer side, and then we used to have cops, traffic cops, RTO officials, all of them, and we used to make the offenders, those who
doesn't follow the rules,
didn't follow the traffic rules, the guy who's driving is not wearing a seat belt, or the guy who's driving a two-wheeler is not wearing a helmet. Like there will be 2 to 3, 4, 5 people on a motorcycle, 10 people in a big, small auto rickshaw. The whole crowd is there, all that. So we used to make them stop, and then these tiny tots would go reach out to them and give flowers to them. Okay, maybe a rose or something, and then tell them, what, uncle, whatever you're doing, it's not right. There might be a family.
I would like to tell something. If you would like to, tell someone, what they're doing is wrong, it is best that you tell them in a softer way, right?
Exactly.
Right, it's always not the louder one is the smartest in the room, right?
Yeah.
It's how you approach people, how well you can make them understand whatever they're doing is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good idea again, and so then.
Yeah. So coming back to that, that's what that. Even though the traffic cops and the RTO officials were there, they were not fined on that particular day. And the best thing was these mostly were done on the road safety week. What we have every year, we have a national road safety week.
Okay.
In and around those week or weekends, we used to probably Saturday, so that we were the school children were also available.
Yes.
So all of that, they were not fined, and this is how we told. I mean, see, the impact factor is not really that great, but
again they can whenever they are in that maybe let's not tell that another place or someone, if they go to that place again, maybe they might remember that these people had done this, these kids were so sweet, they had come to us and they had told whatever we have. They'll just remember that next time whenever they are at that place or something, they might remember.
And possibly if they follow that, if they, as you said, if they remember that and then they're following it, and they
it's
are
right?
they are not getting involved in any of those mishaps.
Correct.
That's the end goal. Correct. So that's a win, and we did that. Again, I had to stop it because the impact factor was not happening. So I was not really confident. We had to probably go to the grassroots level for that.
Exactly. So
that takes a lot of time.
In our country, especially, there's not actually, the education part is not done right? Not the education what you do,
Yeah, the school level or something, but
not the
basic
school
other,
level, the basic, road awareness or something. They could, educate people that, if they can really tell them in a way that they could understand whatever it is. It's not always, you don't wear the seat belt and you get fined, right? So it's always next time they'll wear that seat belt just because, they're getting fined or something, right?
Yeah.
So what you're supposed to, educate them is, why do you wear a seat belt? Why do you wear a helmet? So it's about that. It's not, you don't wear a helmet and, you're getting fined for that. People, generally our people tend to have that in mind, whenever we are going out. Hey, there'll be cops and if we don't wear a helmet and we're getting caught or something.
Let me tell you a small snippet how it goes. So what happens is, let's say you take your car out of your home. Okay. Next 1 or 2 kilometers, you don't have any signal, you don't have any connection. The cops are not there. You go as it is. You don't wear anything. The moment you find that's your daily routine, right? So there's gonna be a cop there. Exactly 500 meters, 200 meters, you pull back your seatbelt, fasten it. And the moment you cross and let's say your office or wherever you were intending to go, and the last 1 kilometer again, there's nobody is gonna be there unless
you tend to remove it, right?
You just remove it, right? Instead, if you are wearing it, the moment you start the car, zip it in or lock it in, strap it in, and the moment you turn it off, take it out.
It's not a big thing, right, to get used to something which is actually good for you, right? There's so many things we tend to get our interests in, right? Be it anything, right? We are interested in something, maybe like a hobby or something. Let's make safety as a hobby, right? It's a good thing. Safety.
I like that.
Should
Safety
be
as a hobby,
right?
Correct.
It's also a good thing to practice, right? We do practice a lot of things, right? We do practice motorcycling, like off-road riding and everything, right? Let's also take a bit of that interest into safety, so that it shouldn't be like you're forcefully made to do that, right? Wear a helmet. It's like you have to.
So let me correct ourselves. 1 second, Shashi. We came up with something like safety as a hobby, right? Let's make it as, instead of hobby, right? There should be some seriousness, because let's make it as safety as a practice. Correct. So that will be. And I'm sure. See, you've been riding for such a long time, and I'm sure you've been commuting, maybe driving as well. So you are on the roads, which are public. There are a lot of other people. So tell me, what are the practices, safety practices or safe practices? Either ways. So what do you follow?
So okay. So it gets basic, the helmet, right? We tend to have this misconception again. Riding in city, we use a lighter helmet.
Yeah, the half face, just
everything. So that people tend to have this. You go out somewhere and you can't carry those big helmets, right? It's actually safe.
Correct.
So what I practice is
you mean big helmets? You mean the safer standard?
Safer helmets, just to put it in a simple term, I just termed it as big helmets.
Correct.
And not
that's how people actually relate to it as well.
Many people think all double certified helmets, to be specific, right? Though the certification which goes through, right, the testing process and however they do it, that's what usually big, we call it as big helmets. It usually looks big and bulky, right?
Slightly heavy, maybe.
We will get to this part in future episodes. Why those helmets are like that, and why
what goes around certifying them,
process of manufacturing and testing them. So I usually prefer to wear a safe helmet rather than comfortable one, because I prefer safety over comfort. Let me tell you, if you prefer your comfort zone when you're riding a motorcycle, I do agree, we all look for that comfortable motorcycle ride. If you prefer comfort in terms of safety, we are talking about safety gears only here, right? This episode is all about safety gears and safe riding
practices.
So if you prefer comfort over safety, right? So what really happens is that the short term where you prefer comfort, right? It'll put you in a situation where you have to be uncomfortable for longer period of time.
Correct, exactly, yeah.
You can term it as what if you met with a crash or something, right? So you will get uncomfortable after that.
Yeah,
if you prefer that comfort, wearing that half helmet, your hairstyle is not getting spoiled or something, yeah, right? So I prefer wearing safer helmets, also riding gloves. Yeah, which is
I'm sure you forgot it. That's something you follow as well, but you just forgot it. Something, the strap.
Yeah.
Helmet straps.
Correct. So coming to the straps, people generally forget that.
They ignore it rather.
It's like wearing a hat. That's how they wear helmets in our community or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Right. So it should be made a practice again. Hobby or practice, wearing a strap is much more important than wearing a helmet. It's like you invest so much and build a wall and you forget to
lock it,
put a foundation or something.
Okay.
Right? Building a wall in a random floor is again gonna
correct.
Once strong wind blows it'll fall. Should have a strong thing which holds that wall. Right? That's how the strap plays a very important role in holding the helmet. So I practice wearing safe helmets over comfortable ones.
Good.
Maybe I see we do get uncomfortable in hot weather.
Yeah.
It gets we do sweat, but it's all for a short period of time, right? It's not that we keep wearing that helmet wherever we are going. But I prefer wearing a helmet, wearing shoes whenever you're riding your motorcycle, be it a moped or a motorcycle, anything. Wear shoes, please, because you might tell it's a short distance ride or something, but you won't know.
You never know. Yeah, exactly.
What happens? It's not that the road here is more dangerous than the road which is on a highway or whatever. The road is still a road, right?
Yeah.
People are there on the road, vehicles are there. Anything might happen, right? So it's always see, you can't make it like mandatory that it is difficult to practice that, but still we are asking you to practice that. Try wearing a helmet. It might be uncomfortable for some period of time,
and you will get used to it as
well.
You'll get
used to it. That's what make it as a hobby.
Correct. Yeah.
See, practice is again like you told, right? Practice, yeah. If you make it as a hobby, right, you will hobby tends to get more and more once you are into it. Say what you start wearing a normal helmet. As you wear that helmet for a longer time, you tend to get a better one again. That's how hobbies are, right? You start doing something once you're interested in it. Correct. You tend to get deeper into it, right? So you yourself will realize, maybe I should get a bigger helmet or something like that, the more safer ones. As you get used to safety gears, pretty much, I can go on and on. Like wear a basic jacket.
The pads, the protection. Yeah.
No, it's not necessary that they have to wear a riding jacket.
Okay.
Again, see, what if people might commute every day? It's not always, for us the riders, we go on long ride and everything. So maybe like a good jacket they can wear. Also, basic things, wear a good, don't wear shorts and go for a ride or something.
That a lot of people do.
I am pretty sure that we have also done that mistake.
Yeah, definitely. See,
just that,
back in the day when you were not aware,
Yeah.
you tend to do that. But the moment you come to realize, okay, this is not the right way.
Correct.
We did change ourselves.
Correct.
There are a lot of other people. Let us know, guys. Did you also do that? Right? It's kind of relatable.
Yeah.
So, but then once you're aware of it, and then you're trying to do that same thing. That's a mistake. That's gonna end up horrible.
So even if I, the moment I take my key, how it has influenced me when it comes to safety. Like how I was telling, I prefer the safer helmets and other things. Similar to that, whenever I take my bike's key, right, from the wherever you keep it, so the instinct which you get, right, the moment you pick up the key, the next moment what you think of is, where's my helmet? That's how you get used to it.
Correct.
Right? So it's again a practice. Like when it comes to practice, right? Once you keep doing something for a longer period of time, the moment you pick up your motorcycle keys, the next thing which you remember is, where's my helmet?
Correct.
Right?
So that's your muscle memory, you know, practice,
that's
muscle
your
memory.
instincts.
I grab my key, I grab my helmet, that's like a task complete.
Yeah. You could do that in multiple ways, wear the helmet. Yeah, it's everybody has a different way of, following safety, right? It's not that you have to wear a, expensive helmet, like how they term it as big helmets, expensive.
I mean, you can get there gradually, but eventually, or to start off with, so have a safer one.
Full face helmets again. Don't wear those, half helmets where, it's
again
easy,
comfort and safety.
Let me tell something. If you find it difficult to carry a big helmet, then someone has to carry you end of the day.
Wow,
that's how hard it is.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So let me put it straight.
That's too harsh, but it's there.
Right?
Yeah.
If you find it difficult, right, half helmets you can carry it easily. Again, you don't know what happens.
Correct.
That's the thing which I'm trying to tell, right? So also there are many things which I would like to
put it all in a circle. So about helmets, so don't forget your helmets, strap on always. Correct. Have a full face helmets. What next? What else can we do? Like what else can be the better practices?
Better practices, I think we have told helmet and gloves, and I think if you have any,
something I would like to point is, road rage.
Road rage, definitely. Like this is so tempting. Okay, whenever you see someone, zip past you tend to get that, instinct right away that open throttle and See, that's the thing which is very hard to, coming to myself, it's so hard to control that. But do you have anything which can,
It's very basic, it's
them,
age old. So the thing is, again, speed limits, they're there for a reason.
Correct.
So as the way we've started all, we would have done like, the speed limit might have said 40, we might be doing 80, 100, all that, we've done that. But again, the practice when it comes, right? So you have to learn to control your machine, right?
Exactly.
So it's not always go full throttle. So enjoy the ride.
In recent times, I used to do that a lot. Going way past 30 or 40, right? I used to find that enjoyable. But now, when I started riding slowly, right, it's very difficult, guys. Trust me. And I've started, practicing it for past few years. When it comes to riding in public roads and commuting, right? I do see a lot of people who tend to come and tempt us. Let's call it that way.
Challenge, tempt,
But
provoke.
It's like that thing which you get it for that 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You tend to control that and you're good to go.
Correct. The rest of the day will be
rest
good.
Of the day will be peaceful,
whatever,
right? The thing is, maybe you're commuting for some important work or something.
Correct.
You at that point of time, what I followed was, for that 5 minutes or 2 minutes, think of why you're going there, why you're riding your motorcycle. So you have much more important thing to do.
Correct.
Wherever you're traveling to. So when you think of that, the guy who's next to you is nothing, right? He's not gonna come in.
You don't even know him.
Yeah, don't even know him. When you tend to go in a road rage with him, your entire thing gets spoiled.
Yes.
The purpose or the reason why you have come out of your home or house to whatever you're going to gets spoiled, right? So that's what I practiced. It's like I started following that.
I have two things to share here. So one of the road safety events, right? So we had veteran riders like late Mr. Chakravarti sir and Mr. Popson Bullet, Vasudev Acharya, who are like way like better riders. They've like Chakravarti sir lived up to 85 plus years.
They call it as the art of throttling, right? You know how soft your fingers are there in the throttle. That, you know, I've heard from different people, right? It's not always how fast you can ride. It's, you know, the thing, if you could try riding slowly, which is much more difficult than riding fast.
That needs skill. Needs skill.
Riding slowly, you need skill to do that.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I was, you know, this was a debate or argument or whatever you call it. The people who used to tell me this, you know, I used to argue, hey, what is there in riding slowly? Yeah, it's so easy to. But when I started doing that, I felt how difficult that was. Yeah.
Correct. So you said, right, the art of throttle.
The art of throttle.
Yeah. So almost on the similar lines. So Mr. Vasudeva Acharya. So what he said was, I think while addressing the crowd itself. So he is about right now today he is about 70 plus. Okay. And he said this was maybe hardly 5 years ago. Okay. He said never in my throughout the riding, he's easily had 50-60 years of, like, you know, at least 50 years of riding experience, correct?
50 years of riding.
Exactly. So what he said was, he pointed out this thing, never in my riding experience have I had an incident wherein suddenly a dog came by, suddenly someone else came by, nothing happened.
Okay, interesting.
Why? Because while he's on the road, one, he doesn't open throttle, zip, zap, zoom every now and then, he doesn't do that. And also, he is always anticipating anything can happen.
Exactly.
See, yeah. So let's say we two are riding, we are into road rage or something. I challenged you, you were trying to chase me, all that. You will not concentrate on anything else. Your ultimate goal would be to outdo me. Correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
There might be anything and everything coming towards you. You would not be least bothered about that. You will not be aware of it, concerned about it, nothing. Let's say I do tempt you, right? You don't engage in that. I zip, zap, zoom, I get past from you. Still you are going in your, like, let's say the speed limit is 50, you are doing 50, around 50 and then going easily. And there's something else coming in. I have passed and then there's a dog that's going. You have anticipated it, you know.
Correct.
The moment you saw me, instead of opening the throttle, you said, like, what if something happens? And you just held back. So it comes back, you have that, you know, that buffer period wherein, okay, you can react to that. You notice it, you try to avoid that, all that happens. So that's how his practice has been. Correct? That's one thing. I'll let you continue, but one more thing is, inside city, right, we have a lot of signals. And we have a certain 30, 40, 50 speed limits for motorcycles. Let's keep it just to the motorcycles right now. So if you practice riding in whatever speed limit they've done, right, like they've mentioned, your signal to signal, okay, that the amount of time you go and spend there reduces immensely. Let's say you ride from one signal to another signal in 60, 80. You still go there, you still get stuck in the signal, and what happens is all you do is wait. Instead, you do follow that, let's say speed limit is 40, you go in 40, you will have to spend lesser amount of time in the red signal.
Interesting.
This is something you can try it out, let us know.
It was have always you ever the other way around, right? You know, whatever I thought, you know, if the signal, you know, releases, you go there as fast as possible and you tend to spend less time on the signal, right? If you try to,
experiment it, trying it out, so this is something that we all can do as this thing. So,
hobby.
Yeah.
Safety
practice, hobby.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
I
interrupted you.
Correct. So what I was trying to tell is, you know, the one who loses is always the one who wins.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Yeah, in a road race, right? You might think you are the fastest one, but the one who slows down, right? He's the smartest one, right?
Yeah.
He'd have, analyze the situation. This is a wrong place whatever we are doing. You might think, I am the top of the world and I can do, more speeds. Yeah, again, it doesn't matter what motorcycle you ride, right? End of the day, you told, if a dog comes,
anything can come. Anything can be.
A motorcycle, no matter what motorcycle you ride, it's a motorcycle may, differ in terms of power and everything. But a crash is a crash.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair. Yeah.
it's as hard as how it gets, right? So always practice to keep your cool, like how you told, right? It's a good thing to follow. I myself didn't know this, that the speed limit, whatever you told,
that
right?
actually helps,
That speed limit and the signal, which is, it was a different perception for me. So just zip past once the signal opens up. We tend to do that because we all are in a hurry, right? Going for whatever work we have. But it's good to think before you do something, right? It's always, be it anything. We're asking you guys to practice this, so that it might help the other users on the road as well.
Definitely, it will definitely.
Correct, right? So it's like, be it a music, right? A good music, someone is really enjoying it, and you play a rock band or metal music in middle, you tend to enjoy that, but the person who's, maybe the soft music, the group of people might enjoy that, and you think that, the loud music is the one, it's all about you again.
Correct. So let me put it in this way. As Shashi put it, right? So what he said, so it's like the situation and the place, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's say you want to experience how fast a motorcycle goes.
Correct.
There are certain places, go to a track, go to a school, explore it there, and they'll teach you how to exactly do that. Like you'll get better control, you'll have an understanding. But on the roads, on the public roads, or
better not to maybe we have all done it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like
it's not that we don't do it and we are telling you guys. It's all that when you get to know something is wrong, right? It's not immediately you stop doing that. It's like you practice doing it.
Cold turkey, go cold turkey.
Yeah, at one point of time you would start to enjoy that.
Yeah, that's
riding slowly is something which I've started enjoying, in recent days. Even in the kart roads, right? Corners, you get excited, once you see a corner. But try, to ride slowly, try to, take in that environment and try riding slowly. The enjoyment which you get is a different thing. You tend to ride for a longer time, right?
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Yeah, because I used to do this a lot wherever I go, right? The hill stations or anything. We used to ride a group of bikers or single. We used to ride we think that riding fast is enjoying, but end of the day, once you tend to finish that enjoyment very soon. Say what, it's like 10 kilometers, you're like zip, you've done it. Try riding slowly, you can enjoy the entire ride.
Yeah.
The longer you spend, right, the more you enjoy, the better memory you get out of it. I've ridden in this road, it's really enjoyable.
That's one good way of looking into that.
See, that's all. See, even we have done that. We have, relearned, whatever motorcycling is. Like we told, unlearn, relearn. So sharing experiences.
Correct.
And there are a lot of things, Mithun, right? So when it comes to riding again, so I also have something else. Yeah.
An experience.
Coming to the speed limit, right?
Okay.
Highways.
Okay.
Let's leave the public roads.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to the highways, right? So, what is the speed limit in highways? Say what